In today's Leeds news, Roberts sends Leeds message, Ayling joins Boro, Farke on 49ers plan, Gnonto wants to leave, and key dates to watch for. Morning folks, Jerry here, Tuesday morning, the 28th of May with your Leeds United news. Hope you're having a good week so far. Going to say this, last season finishes. It's done. It's over. We didn't get there. New season starts now. We start talking about what's going to happen in the months ahead for Leeds. We've got a bit of news ahead of potential exits from the club, as well as some news around key dates to keep an eye out for coming into the summer window as well. So we'll start off with one player who is leaving Leeds and said his goodbye, and that's Connor Roberts. And Roberts has confirmed that he will head back to Burnley after his loan spell at Leeds United finished up. Burnley came down to the Championship after an unsuccessful Premiership campaign and are looking likely to lose their manager Vincent Kompany, and Connor Roberts will head back there to add Championship level reinforcements to their campaign to try and get back into the Premier League at the first time of asking. Roberts made mostly substitute appearances for Leeds, but did make some form of an impact, especially in the Leicester game, and he has confirmed himself that he is heading back. Speaking on his own Instagram page, Roberts said the following: "Obviously so disappointed not to achieve what we all wanted, but honestly what a massive privilege it was to play just a handful of games and to be involved at this incredible football club. An invaluable experience and something I'll remember forever. Thanks for the spectacular support, ladies and gents." He was very good while he was here. I did enjoy him. I did like him. I would have liked to see him get more opportunities. I would have liked to see him have a full pre-season, but it isn't to be. But it is something Leeds will have to look at going into summer, as getting another right back. So, but that's more on that to come, as and when. I'm sure we'll be linked with every free right back in the country for the next 2 months anyway. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks to everything from Connor Roberts. We really appreciate what he did for the club in the short time that he was here. You know, maybe dial it in when you play against Leeds next year at Burnley. That would be great, if you don't mind. Moving on to another fullback, and one that has left Leeds United permanently now, and that's the story around Luke Ayling. Yesterday, Middlesbrough confirmed on their official page that they have signed former Leeds United fullback Luke Ayling on a 2-year contract, making his loan deal at the club a permanent one. They did a lovely advertising with a billboard which had the silhouette of Luke Ayling's head, which was a nice touch after what was a very successful loan period for Luke Ayling, especially in the second half of the season when he clocked up one of the most amount of assists in the division from Christmas. A really good season for him, and Luke Ayling wraps up 8 years at Leeds United and will say his goodbye to the club. Obviously released a goodbye video from him when he went on loan. We're watching again now that he has finished up. Played over 250 games for Leeds United, captained Leeds quite a lot as well, and scored over 10 goals. Some very, very important goals for the club. I have a Hall of Fame of like sporting photographs, and Bill's volley against Huddersfield is slap bang in the middle of that between Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan. Huge moment for the club at that time, and did score some great goals for Leeds United, and a big player for Leeds. And we'll miss the Ayling flop, we'll miss Bill, and I just want to wish Bill all the very best for his future with Middlesbrough and anything he does after that. He was a cracking servant for Leeds United and appreciate everything that he did for Leeds. Moving on, let's talk about Leeds United manager Daniel Farke. Yesterday we heard the 49ers stance on Farke. Today we're going to have a listen to the Farke stance on the 49ers, or at least the project or his future at Leeds United. Daniel Farke has had his say on the 49ers ownership and the direction the club will head after failing to secure promotion to the Premier League. Farke said that he trusts the club and the key personnel involved at the club, and he does that because of the experiences he's seen while he has been at the club. Farke said the following on the long-term plan: "I spoke pretty openly when I signed the contract, why I signed a long-term contract and what my mission is here for this club. It's not the moment to speak about myself, just the fantastic club and our supporters and my players. They don't want to hear from a manager 20 minutes after losing a final and give the manager's opinion on his future. It's more like to be there for them, to pick them up and to give them the experience of an older head who's been there in the past and has positives to give as well." As we said yesterday, 99% chance that Daniel Farke continues in his role next season, whether people agree with it or not, and everyone's entitled to their opinion on that. It's the right time of the year to ask those questions. I've backed Daniel Farke all season long, and I will say that this is the right time of the year to question a season, to look back and digest the whole thing. As I said yesterday, for me, I would keep him at the helm, but I do understand people calling for a change of management as well, and they're completely entitled to do that. But I do think Leeds need a summer of stability. I think we might just see that. Well, with a couple of players that are likely to leave outside of that. Moving on to one player who is looking more and more likely to leave, and it didn't take long, and I think we've all expected this to start coming out. And according to Calcio Mercato journalist Francesco Guerrieri in Italy, he is reporting that Willy Gnonto wants to leave Leeds United this summer and would like to head back to Seria A as a priority. According to Guerrieri, Gnonto prefers a move back to his homeland, and if offers arrive from Serie A, he would view them as a priority. Guerrieri said on his Twitter account the following: Wilfried Gnonto wants to return to Italy. The Leeds striker is looking for a new club. If offers from Serie A arrive, they will have priority. It's an interesting statement. We're going to hear this all summer until decisions are made on what him and Chris Somerville specifically are likely to do. But Gnonto did try to force a move away last year. It was unlikely, if Leeds didn't get promoted to the Premier League, that he would look to move again. The reports have already started. The only thing in this is Willie might have a priority about going back to Italy, but there isn't an awful lot of money floating around Italy or Serie A. So unless it's a Juve, an Atalanta, an Inter or an AC Milan, he might not have a huge amount to say of where he goes. If there are other clubs interested in buying the player, he may have to go somewhere he doesn't want to go, as long as those clubs can meet the valuation of what Leeds have for the player. Leeds are not in a position, and they proved it last year, that they have to sell Willy Gnonto. Yes, there's a reduction in parachute payments, but there is an increase this year coming in terms of the new TV deal that kicks in as well. Leeds will probably sell a couple of players. You've got the sales of Luis Sinisterra and Tyler Adams to be added onto the money that's owed as well. That hasn't been added in yet, so you've all of that stuff. So Leeds might not have to sell as many. As there's a lot of clickbait stuff out there at the moment that just panic, and it really isn't real. I mean, Kieran Maguire did set the cat amongst the pigeons yesterday, but he also contradicted himself in what he said on this channel. What Orson O'Better interviewed himself and Luke did with him as well. So it'd be interesting to see, but Willie may not have the power to make that call just yet. Anyway, and then finally today, just putting some key dates on your calendars for the summer and what to watch out for as the planning for next season starts to begin. The fixture list for the new championship season will be issued on June the 26th. So what's that, 4 or 5 weeks before we see that, a month from today, before we see that list come out. Leeds will be guaranteed a minimum of 24 appearances on TV next season. With the new TV deal, there are more midweek games, there are more Saturday games, there'll be more games added. Nearly every single championship team game is being televised somewhere over the course of the weeks. So Leeds will find out. It's very likely. Leeds were on television over 30 times this year. Don't be surprised if they hit the 40 mark next season. But that's one for international audience as well. Keep an eye June 26th for that to come out. The summer transfer window opens on June the 14th. That means, and runs until the August the 30th end 11 p.m. closing of that one. Interesting one. That's the 14th. Players can still, you did see Luke Ayling agree a deal yesterday. Players can agree deals between now and the 14th. They just won't become active until the 14th. So you will see some stuff there as well. And pre-season due to start in July. Leeds are expected back slightly later than they were last year due to the fact that they had the playoff final this year. The players will get a slightly extended break. There's not many Leeds players going to the Euros, so they won't have that to deal with. They'll just be the players come back after the break. That's it. Out of contract players, that kicks in on June the 30th. Jamie Shackleton, Liam Cooper out of contract. Stuart Dallas as well out of contract on the 30th of June, and then they can move and sign new deals with new clubs as of the 1st of July the following day. And then the retained list is expected out in the next week. Thereabouts week and a half of who is staying at the club. There are question marks around a few players there as well. We know Lewis Bates been out on loan as well. We know Sam Greenwood's been out on loan, but Sam's contract's not up just yet. But what Leeds decide to do, we'll find out in the next couple of days. I'm sure there'll be something that is likely to have done before. Usually before the season ends, you usually get a retained list at the final week of the season. I would say that you're likely to see that happen in the next couple of days, if not next week and a half or so. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me today. Massive thanks, as always, for stopping by, and I will see you tomorrow for more Leeds news. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you then. Bye.